Hi, and welcome along to the final World Cup Daily. It's a sad occasion. I've really enjoyed doing this over the past 5 weeks or so, but it's come to an end. The World Cup has come to its conclusion, and congratulations goes out to Germany for winning the World Cup. Listen, I don't think there's no denying out there that the best team in the World Cup has won the World Cup, and it's always nice when that happens because a lot of times it's not always the best team that wins a tournament competition, but on this occasion, I believe that the best team in the World Cup has won it. Germany and Arsenal have won the World Cup, which is great. Listen, it's great for the Arsenal boys in the team. It's not exactly Arsenal winning the World Cup, but it's great for the Arsenal lads in that squad, what it's going to do for them. I mean, I read a quote from Mesut Ozil where he said it's the best day of his life. And what a season it's been for those guys. Per Mertesacker, who got on just towards the end. Podolski, who's played his part in the tournament as well. I mean, FA Cup winners and World Cup winners in one season. Somebody like Sami Khedira, who won the Champions League final and the World Cup in one season. I mean, Tony Cruz, winning the league in Germany and the World Cup. It must be awesome for those guys, but really, really pleased for the Arsenal guys in the Germany team. And Germany deserved to win the World Cup in the end. Although, if you really analyse that game last night, if I was an Argentina fan today, or if I was a member of that Argentina team, I'd be absolutely kicking myself because even though Germany dominated most of the game and they had some great chances themselves, Germany, I think it was Howard is, where he headed just wide when he should really have buried it. And, Germany overall, I thought on balance of play deserved to win the game. But Argentina had a couple of gilt-edged chances. I mean, there was one where Messi was through. Normally he'd put that away. There was the chance with Palacio where, all he had to do was just chip the keeper and he didn't put it away. And the chance for Higuain, normally such a deadly striker, and he messed that one up. Had all the time in the world from that mistake, I think it was by Tony Cruz from midfield, and he put it wide. And they must be kicking themselves today because the sort of team that if they would have gone 1-0 up, the way they've been defending in this tournament, they might have been able to have locked down that game. But as it went, they didn't. And Mario Götze, with a fitting finale for the World Cup, what a brilliant goal. Took it down. Schürrle with a great cross, who I thought played really well in this tournament as well. Schürrle from Chelsea. Great cross from him. And the skill from Götze, the way he took it on his chest, the volley, brilliant goal, just for a fitting, brilliant tournament. I've loved this tournament. It's had great games. It's had dramas. I mean, who can forget the Brazil thrashing and the Suarez biting? It's had everything, this tournament. It's had absolutely everything. The only thing it hasn't had is a decent performance from England. But apart from that, it's had absolutely everything. And I think it's been, listen, England as a team, we've got to look to the Germans and we've got to learn off of what they've done, the way they've constructed that team. Let's look at them. Look at their manager, how he's a young, dynamic manager, and then we look at our manager. And I just still think we're a million miles away from the two teams that we saw playing in the final yesterday. Of course, Manuel Neuer, he got the Golden Glove, which is, listen, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. What an awesome keeper he is. And I couldn't believe that Messi got player of the tournament. Come on. That was ridiculous. Listen, he's played well in the tournament. There's no doubt about it. Even though he looked to me in the last two games, you saw the way he was just walking around. I think the tournament caught up with him and he looked jaded. He looked knackered in the final two games. Was obviously just trying to conserve his energy. But player of the tournament, no way. I mean, for me, my player of the tournament, I think I would have given it to one of three players. James Rodriguez, who emerged and was brilliant. I think he got, he was awesome in the tournament. Arjen Robben, who was brilliant. He was a game changer in every game for Holland. Every single game he played, his levels were superb. All right, I know sometimes he goes over too easy, but I don't know. To me, probably my player of the tournament would have been Arjen Robben. And what about Thomas Müller? He won the World Cup. And in most games, he pulled off something awesome for the Germans. And I just can't believe how Messi won that player of a tournament. Come on, that was ridiculous. Somebody pointed out to me it was Adidas's sponsoring it, and he's an Adidas player. Maybe that's got something to do. It's ridiculous that he won it. He even looked embarrassed going up to collect it. One of those three, James Rodriguez, Robin, or Muller, should have won that, and I would probably have went for Iron Robin because I thought he was excellent. And just before we come on for the World Cup, my team of the tournament for the World Cup. This is my team of the tournament, and you know what I want you to do? I want you to put in the comments your team of the tournament, because you're probably going to disagree with what I put. That's what football fans, that's what we do. We disagree, we come up with our own. But this is my team of the tournament. I've got Manuel Neuer in goal. I've got Aurier at right back, Hummels and Vlaar in the middle of the centre halves, Daley Blind of Holland, who I thought was excellent. Then in the midfield, sort of holding in front of them, I've got Mascherano, who was excellent in the tournament from Argentina, Toni Kroos from Germany, who again was brilliant throughout the tournament. And then in front of them, I've got Rodriguez, James Rodriguez, can't leave him out. Alexis Sanchez, who I thought was brilliant in the tournament as well. Iron Robin, to me, the player of the tournament. And up front, in front of them, Thomas Muller. That's my 11 for the tournament. I don't know what yours is. Leave them in the comments below and we'll take a look at them. Let's get into some transfer news. Of course, we've been giving you the transfer news as well throughout the World Cup as it's been going on. And the massive news that's coming out of Spain today is that Arsenal are reportedly very close to signing Sami Khedira. We've heard about it for the past couple of days. We've been hoping, we've been praying, we've been wishing. Well, according to the Catalan Daily newspaper, they're reporting that Khedira says he's going to be going to Arsenal. He says that he doesn't feel loved or valued at Real Madrid, and he loves Arsenal, and he'd like to play for Arsenal. And apparently a deal is very, very close. And if they can pull that off, Khedira, Alexis Sanchez, wow, there's going to be some big things happening at the Emirates next season. I'll tell you what, everybody's going to be wanting to be in there to watch this team if we're getting those caliber of players coming in. So Sami Khedira apparently on the verge of signing for Arsenal, but we're going to have to watch this space on this. We know what can happen sometimes. We always refer back to the Higuain thing, but certainly, I remember when I spoke to Ivan Gazidis the other day, he seemed very confident to me when I kept pressing him about if he's going to get a holding midfielder. He seemed very confident, and he had that little wry smile on his face as if to say, you'll see, you'll see. Let's hope that's the deal he's going to do. I think that would be massive for all Arsenal fans. They'd be really happy with that. Another deal that there's reports that it might even get today, might be done today, and that's the Matthew Debuchy deal. Of course, we've known about this one for a while. It looks like it's definitely going to be happening. Matthew Debuchy coming in that right back's position. Another deal I told you about a couple of days ago, I told you that a friend of mine told me that he'd been spoken to an ex-Arsenal player who's very, very close still to the Arsenal setup, and he told him that Arsenal's #1 goalkeeping target was David Ospina, the Colombian goalkeeper. Now we're hearing today that that is a deal that could be tied up by the end of this week, and the price tag for that would be about £3 million. So David Ospina could be coming into the Emirates this week. And the Loic Remy deal, which I've reported to you before the World Cup, and I said to you it was a done deal. Apparently the deal is stalled. The only reason it hasn't gone through is that it's stalled because there's a bit of a dispute over wages. Loic Remy demanding £80,000 a week. Arsenal reluctant to pay that amount for Loic Remy. Not sure of the fee they want to pay him, but they're reluctant to pay that £80,000 a week. They think that's too high, and that appears to be the sticking point on that deal, Loic Remy coming to Arsenal. But some great deals in the offing at the moment at Arsenal, and if they can pull off, you know, I mean, those three signings, let's take the Loic Remy one aside for a second. If those deals happen, which Debuchy we know is going to happen, Debuchy, Khedira, David Ospina, we're starting to look like an awesome team. I'm telling you that, if those sort of deals go through. Let's get into the comments and see what you guys have got to say. I'm going to whiz through them quickly here. Dick Patel says, Messi winning the player of the tournament was fixed. And I'll tell you what, I find it hard to disagree with what he says there. I mean, I just can't believe it. Thomas Varell says, hi, Robbie. With all the midfielders we have, and possibly another defensive midfielder coming in. Is there place for Jack Wilshere in the starting 11? Listen, Jack Wilshere's going to have to earn his place in the starting 11. I think, listen, it's excellent competition. In any team that's going to be competing on all fronts, you need a big squad. It showed. Remember, anybody who thinks that we're bringing in too many players in that area, remember last season. Just remember last season. Subdu says, I think we should start giving some love to Ivan the Terrible. He's talking about Ivan Gazidis. As I said to Ivan Gazidis the other day in that interview, we give you a lot of stick because you've got things wrong in the past, but certainly at the moment he's doing a fantastic job, and credit where credit is due. He's bringing in some great players at the moment for the club, and you know, I think he's fantastic. Q Guna says to me, Robbie, for your information, the future cup kit is going to be released on our first qualifying of the Champions League. I was asking about that the other day. Thanks for filling us in on that. Lots of people after that kit as well. They really, really loved it. Don't forget to check out our video. We've done a review of the home and away kit. Gross's Tennis says, no Schweinsteiger, no title. Schweinsteiger was brilliant last night. Absolutely brilliant. CJ Rank says, Remy for £80,000 a week. He says, jog on. Listen, maybe I'm sure they'll sort out something. They'll sort out something in the price. OpenFar1 says Khedira is the perfect Arteta replacement, and I still think there'll be a place for Arteta in the team. Listen, whilst Khedira is settling, remember Khedira, if he does come in, he's coming off of the back of quite a bad injury last season. So listen, Mikel Arteta will still have a good part to play in Arsenal's team in that holding position as well. This is a squad game now. Brandon Matthews says, Blatter has got to go. No way Messi should have been awarded the golden ball. And Alstrom23 says, if we get Khedira, does he start ahead of Arteta? I think definitely he does. But he's going to have to work his way into the team. Arsenal guy says, Robbie, I'm hearing that Khedira removed this Real Madrid player from his Instagram bio. What do you think? Listen, we always hear these little things at this time. I'm always being reminded, until you see them at Arsenal holding that shirt like that, ain't nothing done. But it's definitely a strong rumour, definitely an encouraging rumour. Eunice says, if we are really in for a solid centre back, we should go for Costa Rican Gianrico. Oops, it just disappeared there. But the Costa Rican centre back he would like to go for. And Dick Patel reminded me Khedira got an injury in the warm-up yesterday. Yes, we know that, and we're hoping that he's not going to be another injury-prone player. Of course, as Peridu 17-12 points out here, Tony Cruz has gone to Madrid, so that means Khedira could be leaving out to Arsenal. Certainly, Khedira will be looking at that and knowing that his time might be, you know, the amount of game time he gets at Real Madrid might be limited. Plus, as well, he'd get to come to Arsenal. Listen, he'll fit in easy. He can team up with the other Germans there. Mertesacker, Ozil, who's one of his best mates. You've got Serge Gnabry there, Podolski there. He shouldn't have any troubles whatsoever fitting in. And how good is it to have all these Germans in the team when Germany are right now, you know, leading the way with football? Do a couple more here. So many of them coming in. So many of them coming in. Joseph Peacock says, what would you rather, Bender or Khedira? To be honest, either of them would suit Arsenal right now. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Bender in the World Cup because of his injury. But, you know, either of those I'll be happy with. And last one here, Ram Sketch. He seems to be suggesting that we should go for either Griezmann or Memphis Depay of Holland, who were two, or maybe he's thinking that I should have had those in the team, and my team of the tournament. Griezmann was excellent. Depay played well, but didn't play all the games. Griezmann, I thought, was brilliant. Another player that I was thinking to myself, let's go out there and get him. He's another midfielder, but listen, let's just strengthen in all areas. Well, that's it. That's the last World Cup Daily. However, we will be back tomorrow morning with Transfer Daily. We're going to keep filling you in on the transfers. Not sure yet how we're going to run the Transfer Dailies throughout the whole of the summer, because the way Arsenal are going, I'll tell you what, we might have everything tied up and that could be it done. But we will keep filling you in on the transfer. So from tomorrow, World Cup Daily is going to revert to Transfer Daily, where we'll be running through every morning the transfers, players that have been linked with Arsenal, players that are coming into Arsenal. We'll keep filling you in on that. And also, I just want to, before I go, I want to thank Marcus at Loomis7, he is on Twitter. He was the one who was giving us all those videos for our World Cup Daily. Also, want to for a World Cup Diary, and that was brilliant. If you didn't get to watch all of those, make sure you go back throughout the archives and have a look at some of those videos. He spent 5 weeks over there in Brazil and sent through some great videos, capturing the atmosphere of the fans out there. And also to Jack McDonald from the Global Gooners, who was over there as well, sent us some great stuff on the Argentinian fans. It's the World Cup Daily. Germany have deservedly won the World Cup. I mean, look at the teams they've beaten to get there. They survived a group of death. They beat Portugal easily. They got past Ghana. They beat France. They beat the 2 South American teams and won, Brazil, thrashing them, Argentina on home soil. First European team ever to win the World Cup in South America. To achieve all of those feats, they are the deserved winners of the 2014 World Cup. And congratulations goes out to them, and particular to all the Arsenal players that play for Germany. What a future they've got as well in the coming competitions. Thanks for watching World Cup Daily. Thanks for your support throughout these weeks of the World Cup. And what we're going to do now the World Cup's finished, what we're going to do?